This is a summary of our renewal progress report for the PD-GWSS board-funded project propagating the premier U.S. grape collection for protection in a foundation greenhouse. Foundation Plant Services, FPS, has provided the grape industry and researchers with healthy grapevine planting stock from a valuable collection of grapevines for over 70 years. The program serves as the primary source for certified, virus-tested, and true-to-variety grapevine plant material distributed to nurseries under the California Department of Agriculture's Grapevine Registration and Certification Program. Although FPS has successfully maintained these foundation collections of grapes in open vineyards on the UC Davis campus for more than 70 years, the Russell Ranch vineyard recently became infected with grapevine red blotch virus, GRBV. Fortunately, the classic foundation vineyard has remained relatively unaffected by GRBV. The collection is rigorously tested and continues to supply the grape industry with clean planting stock, but we can't assume the classic foundation vineyard will continue to remain free of GRBV. To protect the core grapevine collection from GRBV and other vector-transmitted viruses and maintain the high standards of certified, virus-tested material relied on by the industry, FPS and the grape industry determined that a foundation greenhouse is necessary. Construction of the FPS foundation greenhouse began in 2023. When completed, the 14,400 square foot greenhouse will be able to hold up to 750 grapevine selections. The greenhouse is constructed using fine mesh screen over vents to protect insect entry and features vestibuled entries to further reduce the risk of insect entry. Propagating the grape material to fill the greenhouse is a multi-year process that began prior to its construction and is the purpose of this project. Project objectives are to collect, propagate, and PCR or HTS test industry-identified priority selections, perform microchute tip culture on priority selections to eliminate viruses or elevate selections to Protocol 2010 if needed, and to recertify priority selections by retesting plants that have received microchute tip culture and confirm trueness to type of all selections by DNA identification. Currently, FPS maintains 2,332 selections of scion and rootstock cultivars in the foundation vineyard. As we move to a foundation greenhouse, we cannot represent all vines indoors and must protect only high priority selections. The Phase 1 greenhouse will house approximately 2,000 vines or up to 750 selections. To ensure the selections critical to the grape industry are protected in the FPS Foundation greenhouse, we have prioritized collection of the industry-ranked selections as indicated by the Grapevine Registration and Certification Program nurseries who participated in a survey that took place in 2022. The propagation process has many steps. First, bud sticks are collected from the mother plants and transported to FPS headquarters. This takes place in winter when the grapevines are dormant. To begin rooting of the bud stick, each is individually labeled for identity preservation and stuck into a tray of perlite. After root development in that sticking flat, the bud stick is transferred to a 4-inch pot in potting soil. We can track each plant and their locations in the FPS greenhouse using our in-house database. Plants are moved into a 1-gallon pot when they are appropriately sized. When established in that 1-gallon pot, plants are moved to a screenhouse to continue to grow in an insect-free environment. PCR and HTS testing of these propagated materials to screen for pathogens will take place once the plants have reached appropriate size for tissue collection. In the prior period, 200 selections were established in pots as planned for year 1. These will undergo disease testing when the plants have reached the size appropriate for tissue sampling. In the current year, we are planning to propagate 150 more selections. Propagation work in this current period has so far been initiated for 61 selections. Most have already been moved from sticking flat to 4-inch pots. Collection and propagation activities will resume in January 2024. FPS will also perform microchute tip culture therapy for virus elimination on the material with viruses or virus-like agents detected during testing. Microchute tip culture therapy involves the excision of a very small piece of the shoot tip of grape, growing it in media to a new vine, and testing the grapevine for pathogens. Microchute tip culture was initiated on 32 high-priority selections during this period, and microchute tip culture was completed on 23 selections that had been excised in the previous funding period. Each of those 23 has been advanced to soil and will be tested for pathogens to ensure success of the therapy after adequate growth time has passed. The final objective of the project is to recertify priority selection by retesting plants that have received microchute tip culture and confirm trueness to type of all selections by DNA identification. This will take place later in the project when the plants are large enough for testing. We thank you for your support and look forward to updating you again soon. Thank you.